Okay, so this is Teresa Reiner. I'm working on Module 15 with 5 new technologies, and I'm showing you Quizlet, which is an app that helps you study for whatever you need to study, and you can make flashcards and learn the material, and it just helps you study. So this is my daughter's account, so I'm logged in. First thing you have to do is log in or sign up. So I went ahead and logged in. And you can look at, these are all the sets of things that she had created. And so what you can do is then pick one, and I'm just going to, there we go, we'll just pick French. And so then over here it shows all the different things that you can do with that set. And so if you just want to use it as flashcards, then you just click on it, and then there's the answer, and then you go to your next one, and you can just practice with them as flashcards. So that's one thing you can do. Then there's learn, and it has your French word here, and then you have to pick the definition here. And so I'm going to pick that. And then I do not know these. Oh, so I got that one wrong. So I've got to study it more. And so that's another way that you can do that, is by learn. Then on write, it has the definition, and then you have to type it in here, and so you're actually writing it. So that's another way that you can learn the material that you have. You can spell it, and then there's also a test version, so you can have it be written out. It can be multiple choice, true, false, and you can set that how you want to do that kind of a test. You know, it can be any way that you want it to be. You could do all true, false. You could do all multiple choice. You could, you can determine that. And then there's the different ways you can play. You can match. So you have to then figure out when they match up then, and you can play that game. And then there's also gravity, which is where it's kind of like asteroids, and it will fall, and then you have to type in the correct answer. So I could type street, and then that asteroid would go away and the next one would start dropping. So that's another game that you can play. So those are things that you can do with your flashcards. If you wanted to create one, then you could pick up, let's say I was going to do states and capitals, and I had to learn that in 4th grade, and so I'm going to make my states and capitals, and I type in Kansas, and then I come over here and I type in Topeka as my capital, and then my next one I do, and maybe it's Nebraska, and notice it starts prompting you, and you can pick which one if the word you want is there. And so you can see it's already guessing what I'm wanting, and so I can type in Lincoln, and then maybe I want to do Minnesota, and sure enough, there it prompts it, and then there's my capital, St. Paul. And so let's say that's my set and I want to stop there, then I'm going to go, and you can also add more. So if you did 5 and then you wanted 5 more, then you could add. But I'm going to go ahead and just create it with that. And then I can also add it to a class or folder. So if I had a history or a social studies or a teacher or something I wanted to add it to, I could, but I don't need to do that. And so then here are my flashcards, Kansas, and then there's Topeka, and I can go to the next one. And so again, here's all the different ways that I can study those cards. And if I wanted to search for a Quizlet, then let's say I want to search for U.S. presidents, and these are Quizlets that have already been made by other people. And so if I didn't want to make one and I just wanted to search and see whether there was one that I already could use, then all of these Quizlets are available for me to be able to do that. You can also search by a teacher name. Maybe the teacher created a Quizlet, and you can search by the teacher's name and you could use the teachers, or maybe one of your friends made a Quizlet and you could search by their username and you could find those and you could use one of their Quizlets. They also have a Quizlet Live, which is a game that you can play, which is kind of like Kahoot. It's just Quizlet's version of that. And then there's also a Quizlet Learn, which is, it can help you create a study plan. Let's say you have a big test, like a final, and it can break it down in pieces and help you create a study plan that you can use to study for that test. The ITSE standards that I am going to use with this is 4D, demonstrate cultural competency when communicating with students, parents, and colleagues and interact with them as co-collaborators in student learning. And I think that parents, you could easily at parent night share about this and have them, you could even demonstrate it for them, and then they can help their students create these, and then throughout the year they can use them. And then also 5C, explore and apply instructional design principles to create innovative digital learning environments that engage and support learning. All right, so that's Quizlet. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have an opportunity to use it.